I was gonna post this on my Instagram, but it's kind of a longer story, so I figured let me just upload it on YouTube. It's kind of my first video. I do love story times and like listening to other people's story times, and I do get myself in like little trouble here and there, but it's never, sometimes like it's on purpose because I seek the adrenaline, and then sometimes like the universe really like comes for me. But this one this morning was really out of nowhere. And it's kind of like how things came together that it was more like surprising to me than anything, but it was really interesting. So last night, out of nowhere, I am just scrolling through like news, and I stopped by this article that's like about electricity, how electricity is made, and how it's like, you know, you have to be careful, like it can be dangerous in certain aspects. I was just reading it out of like just learning. And then this morning, you know, when you sit in bed and you're like, why isn't my alarm going off? Like something, I feel like I've slept for a long time and I don't know why my alarm isn't going off. And in the morning I usually have the most vivid dreams, and I dream very lucidly to the point where sometimes like I can control my dreams. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting to see that part of my brain. It's actually kind of cool. But the last dream that I remember in the morning was I was back home in Albania, and I was just visiting home. Sometimes it's a reoccurring dream. I think I just miss being home. But back in the 90s, after the communist era in Albania, we used to have like blackouts, so the electricity would go out and all this shit. So I was having this dream that I was back home and then we didn't have electricity. So like I'm sitting there in bed having this dream and I'm half asleep, and I'm like, why is the alarm not going off? Like, what's going on? And my alarm is usually set around like 6:37. And because I started work around 8:30, and I had a meeting at 9:15, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm usually up by 7, so it wouldn't be a problem. So then I wake up, and so I get up, and then I look at my humidifier, which is funny. It's like right there actually, and you see how it has a light at the bottom in my bedroom, and it was turned off. I was like, oh, like, it never runs out of water because I fill it to the top every night. And I was like, that's weird that it's turned off. And then I get up and I look at my phone and it was turned off. I was like, oh my God, I'm still dreaming. Like, this is so weird. Because I looked to check the time, or like, you know, what time, like maybe it's like 6 o'clock and my alarm hasn't gone off. And then I check my phone and my phone battery was off. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So then I go to turn on a light and the lights wouldn't turn on. And I was like, this is like, I think I'm still dreaming. Like, you know, when you're out of bed and you're just like discombobulated, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. So I was like, oh, I'm still dreaming. And literally, like, I pinched myself and I was like, fuck, like, I'm not, but like, what is going on? So I grabbed my work phone and I called the maintenance guys, and I was like, hey, like, by the way, I don't have power in my apartment. Can you help me figure out what's going on? And it was just like so super, like, even at that point, I'm like, I don't even like realize what's going on. And I look at my work phone and it's 9:45. I had missed the meeting. And it was like so weird. So I had all this like missed messages from my director, and he's like, are you joining the meeting? Like, we will need your input. It would be great if you can join, like all these things. And then like increasingly getting more upset. So I was like, oh fuck. So then I literally was like, my power is out, like on my work phone. And it felt like an excuse, like my dog ate my homework. Like, it just didn't seem believable, but that's what actually happened. So the maintenance guy comes in, and I was like, do the other units have power? And he's like, yeah, it's just your unit. I'm like, what the like, he's like, did you pay your electric? I'm like, yes. I pay my bills. Oh, thank you for assuming that, but yes. And then he checks the box, and then he checks my electric. He's like, you haven't paid your bill. I was like, you motherfucker, like, stop looking at me like that. And I call ComEd, and they're like, is this the number associated with this apartment? I'm like, yes. And then your bill is not paid. The power has been shut off. And the maintenance guy is looking at me like, you broke ass bitch. And I'm like, what? Like, I paid, and I showed him, like, I log into my check free, which is how you pay for ComEd. I was like, look, like, I paid $183. And he's like, oh, okay, like, I don't know what's going on. So I pay, he's like, and then on the phone, the automated machine was like, oh, would you like to pay now? I'm like, yeah, like, fucking pay. I need electricity, and this is like embarrassing, and I'm still from my dream. I'm still in this weird state, and even now I kind of have a headache from it all. So we pay the electricity, and then so then I call ComEd, and I try to speak with an agent. I was like, I show that I paid. And what had happened, they were like, oh, my check free is a third party, and they don't send us payments anymore. Like, when you pay, they send us like on the 21st of the month, so they would have sent it on Monday. So they had literally shut off my electricity. It's like, how am I supposed to know that now ComEd doesn't use check free anymore? They have their own payment system. And I was like, well, can you at least cancel the payment that's gonna go in again, the 183 on Monday? And they were like, no, we don't have any contact with the third party. You have to call them. I was like, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, what's their number? And like, they were like, we don't have their number. So then we have to Google this third party payment system that they have, but apparently don't communicate very well with. So then I had to cancel a payment for Monday, so I don't pay $200 twice. That's how expensive electricity is. And funny enough, so it's $183 for 2 months. So last month my credit card was stolen, so the payment was declined, and I didn't think much of it. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna pay 2 months in August, because I was like, I don't think they'll shut it off because they didn't pay for 1 month. And I paid on the first through the third party, and it doesn't go through until Monday. So yeah, I woke up today and I had no power, and I missed my meeting, and I had to be like, yeah, sorry guys, I didn't have electricity. And then the maintenance guy was like, oh my god, like, do you pay your rent, girl? Like, do you pay your other bills? Like, what's going on? But anyway, we got it solved. It was a pain in the butt, but it was just so funny to me how I can even remember the article I was reading last night about the electricity, and then being like back home in Albania with my vivid dreaming, and then just waking up like that, and like seeing, like, the first thing I see, like, it's literally my like humidifier, the lights, and I was like, oh, it's not turned on. And then I pinched myself, like, I literally, like, I was like, it's still a dream, but it feels so real. It was real. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. Anyway, that's it for my story time. A lot of other shit happened in the morning, but that it's fine. I had to like literally provide to my boss the reason why I missed the meeting and like the phone calls and payments because it was an important meeting. So that sucked. But yeah, anyway, it's Friday, so I'm going out. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye, guys.